less than you expect so far?
Just as much as I would expect.
And how do you feel like your offensive line and your guys have communicated and handled it?
Well, again, as much as it's pressure, it's putting ourselves in bad situations. We have to be efficient on first and second down to avoid third and long situations. Because the pressure, sure, it comes on all D&Ds, but when it's third and long, then you're back.
You got some nice work out of Josh Malone this week. Does that give you confidence to go back to him even more now and to grow his role on the team?
Well, I feel good about our receivers in general, whether it's Josh, whether it's Marquez, whether it's Jason, obviously, Alton, the whole group. So as they make plays, they'll get the ball more. But again, my play calling doesn't change a whole lot based on who's in there. But it was good to see Josh step up in certain situations. He continues to get better, and we'll get the ball more and more.
How important is it to get Darrell Scott kind of up to speed and get him some carries to kind of help spell the load for Jalen?
Yeah, I mean, we need to be balanced at all positions. We need to make sure we step up and continue to progress when it comes to the development of our youth. And so Darrell's one of those guys that has been getting more and more reps in practice, and we feel more and more comfortable with.
With that being said, where does Marlon Lane fit into the picture still? I think he only had 5 carries versus Georgia.
Yeah, again, Marlon's done a good job, and in the flow of the game, the guy that's most productive is probably going to get most of the carries.
Mike, what is your confidence level? How has it changed with Jalen? It seems like you got a lot of touches on him in Georgia. What's your confidence level in him, and how much has it grown since the start of the season?
Well, I've always had a lot of confidence in Jalen, as I do with Marlon and Darrell and Devin and the whole crew. So, he's shown he continues to progress the way we anticipated he would. From day one when he came in here, we knew that he was very talented.
It seems like you've gotten a little more creative every now and then with a new play each week. Is that partly because now you feel like you have a quarterback who has that confidence and that knowledge, and you have the playmakers around him to get a little more creative?
Well, it's just a matter of the course of the season, whether it's building off of what we've done or maybe playing off of tendencies that I know we have. So that will continue to grow.
Do you feel like, as an offensive coordinator, you get excited that you have these guys who you can get a little more creative with and stretch your play calling?
Sure. Again, it's a luxury anytime you have – the more weapons you have, the more possible ways you can get people the ball. So as guys continue to develop, like Josh Malone and Marquez, Jalen, etc., there will be more and more ways to feed them the ball.
Like you're a third of the way into it now, 4 games. Do a lot of these young guys look like not battle-hardened veterans yet, but is some of that freshman stuff wearing off?
Yeah, again, as we've said all along, even the guys that got here mid-year are going through the season for the first time. So this is the first time they're ever going into the 6th week or the 5th game of the season. And with that comes all the things that go along with being a freshman. What people don't understand is that these young men are going through the major midterm period in their academic lives. They obviously have their personal lives that they're dealing with, and the duration of the football season and the grind of the football season is definitely something that weighs on their shoulders also. So these freshmen have done a good job in light of all that of staying focused and continuing to work.
When you go in your offensive meeting room with everybody now, just how different is it than a month ago even?
Well, again, they're getting more and more comfortable with the system, and as much as anything, with the expectations of practice and of games.
How much do you feel like you know this offense, you know what you've got, who can do what, and how much is still to be discovered?
Well, the interesting thing, I feel like I'm confident I have a good grasp of our personnel. The exciting thing is they'll continue to get better and better and better because they're so young. Again, don't lose sight of the fact that Marquez North hasn't even played a full year and a half yet, and he's going to continue to get better and better and better, as will Alton Howard and Josh Smith and all those young guys, those newcomers. The exciting thing is their potential and their ceiling.
So what stands out to you about Florida?
They're very fast. Up front, number 6, Dante Fowler, plays 100 miles an hour. In the back end, Vernon Hargraves is really talented. And they're deep. They're deep across the board. They play a lot of guys, especially up front. They play a lot of guys in the secondary. They too have a talented freshman class at the defensive back position with Quincy Wilson and Jalen Tabor. So you know, they're deep at all positions, and they have good team speed.
You talked about Fowler. What do you see from him and really that entire Florida pass rush? And what kind of challenges they present?
Yeah, he's athletic, he's fast, he's strong, he's the whole package. So, you know, there's always going to be guys on the defensive front that you need to focus your attention on. He's definitely going to be one.
Was there a
Mike, when-
common thread on the 2 fumbled handoffs Saturday?
No.
What was the cause for each one?
It looked like on the one coming out to Jalen, his hand hit the ball, and Marlon on the 3rd and 2, it looked like he didn't get have a big enough pocket to get his arm underneath it, and the ball was on his hip a little bit.
Mike, whenever Nathan Peterman came in the game, one of the ESPN commentators made the comment and said he hadn't taken a snap all week in practice. Is that an accurate statement?
Extremely inaccurate.
Okay.
Yes.
Did he possibly mean he hadn't gone with the ones last week?
Possibly. You know, I would say, again, we do so much in the course of practice. Yeah, there's full team reps where we're working 11 on 11. And, you know, we will get anywhere from 22 to 32 reps in the course of a day. But there's so much that goes into drill work. He's gotten plenty of reps with various running backs and various receivers as it relates to timing and consistency there.
How rare is it to have a guy like Jalen that's you know, you talked about being comfortable from day one to take on that load that he's taken on, and how much of it is, you know, the maturity level that Butch talks about a lot with him?
I'm sorry, what was the first part of the question?
Heard he's taken on, you know, he's day one ready. How rare is that in college football today to have a freshman that can carry that load?
You know, I've said before that it's becoming more and more common because the product we're receiving from high school coaches and from the high school level is more and more polished. There's a ton of good coaches at the high school level who are really giving these guys a very strong foundation, both in the fundamentals and the complexity of the game. So guys are coming in more game ready and more able to compete.
Mike,